Hi everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take you along as we start our onion seeds. Hi, my name's Corinne, and here at Spirea, I share videos that weave together plant wisdom, holistic health, self-sufficiency with just a dash of magic. If this sounds interesting to you, I'd love for you to stick around. So it would probably surprise people to know that onions are some of the hardest crops to grow in the sense of getting those big, beautiful onions you see at the grocery store. It's actually not that easy. We've been trying for many, many years. And this year I am bound and determined to get it right. So I want to share the process with you guys and what we're doing and what we're doing differently this year. Because I've done onion sets and I have started onions from seed before, purchased seedlings, and that was our best crop by far. It was farmer friends of ours that started a whole flat of seedlings for us. And this year I was like, okay, we're gonna follow in their footsteps and figure this process out. So I'm gonna show you guys what we're doing. So first, let's take a look at our onion seeds and what we're gonna be growing this year. So as you can see, onion seeds are really, really, really small. They're teeny tiny, so they're a little bit tedious to work with. And what we're gonna do and what we're gonna show you guys today is how we're going to pre-sprout them. And the reason why we're going to do this is because onions actually have a pretty high failure rate in terms of germination. The package says, depending on the variety, they say anywhere from 81 to 92%. I'd say we experience at least a 25 to 30% seed failure rate. So when you pre-sprout your seeds, like I'm gonna show you guys how to do today, you're gonna get 100% germination, so you don't have those wasted cells just sitting there taking up space where you could be growing other food. And we are growing some storage varieties, both in kind of a white onion and a red onion. So I'll get my supplies ready and show you what we're gonna do next. So what I'm starting with here is I'm gonna dampen a paper towel, and I've got this little spray bottle here with good clean water. And you can use cloth for this, but I was doing some reading and people were like, it's a lot easier to get the seeds off of paper towels. And I'm just gonna sprinkle my seeds onto the paper towel. Now I have done onion sets before and they're pretty good. I can't seem to get them to grow really, really big, but we use a lot of onions. And so I'll be doing a combination of onion sets and starting seeds because I don't have enough space in my home to start enough onion seeds on a tray. They take up too much space. So our goal is to try to do about 2 trays full. Now I'm gonna fold this in half and I'm gonna dampen it down again. And then my plan is to put them in little zip bags because the goal is you wanna keep them moist and you don't want them exposed to a lot of sunlight. So yeah, my husband's just gonna pass me a bag and I'm gonna do my best. You guys are seeing this in real time. This is a new experiment, but I wanted to share with you because if it's successful, then we'll have all this information for years to come. So I'll just carefully put this inside of a zip bag, and this is just gonna make sure it stays moist inside of the Ziploc bag. There we go. And because all the onions, you can see, I'll get my husband to show you again, they all look identical, all of them. So I've got my handy painter's tape. I swear we use this for everything. I label jars, I label freezer meals. And so I'll put a bit of painter's tape on here and write the variety. C-A-L-I-B-R-A. And I'm gonna check back I'll check every day and also continue to make sure that the paper towel is nice and damp. And once these guys are sprouted, we'll come back and show you what we're going to do next. Are you ready to take your herbal learning to the next level? To dive into the world of plant-based wisdom and to walk the path of a plant worker? If you are, I invite you to check out Weavers of Plant Wisdom, which is my new monthly membership platform where we explore all topics plants. I hope to see you there. All right, and we're back. So if you remember from the first segment, we got our little seeds damp and in bags that were labeled. We did that on a Sunday and it's now a Thursday evening, and most of them haven't sprouted yet, but a bunch of them have. And I didn't want the little tails to get too long because then they're going to get damaged in the transplanting. So remember, this is, we're not farmers. We are learning as we go, homesteaders. And so I wanted to share this experience with you guys and let you know what we're doing differently with our onions this year. So I'll get my husband in. Hopefully the lighting is okay enough. Hubby works during the day, so my cameraman's only home at night. So you can see, and some of these are a little long, so I have to be really careful when I plant these. You can see some of them have started to sprout. And so what we did is we got a few trays in our seed tray filled up with soil, and then I'm going to transplant them. So for this, I really like to use barbecue skewers. They work really well for poking the holes in your seed trays. So we've filled them with soil. I have them nice and damp, and then I'm just going to poke some holes in there with the barbecue skewer. I find that works really, really well. Toothpicks are not quite thick enough, but that is an excellent tool to have. And so then what I'm going to do is kind of painstakingly pick up let's see if I can find one here, the little seedling, or the little seed. And what you want to do is plant it, oh dear. This is not a fast process. You want to plant it with the little tail pointing down and the seed casing up. So I might actually need larger holes than that. So you guys are learning with us here. So there, I'll make that a little bit larger. I was doing some reading, and onions do like warmth. Most seedlings like warmth. Now we have a wood stove, so there I am. I'm going to plant that down. And then what we're going to do afterwards is we're going to cover all of these up with soil. So if your house is really cool and you want to start seedlings, you may need grow mats. Kind of experiment with whether or not you're going to need heat underneath your seedlings. If you find, even if you have lights, your seedlings are still getting really leggy and reaching for those lights, you may need some heat underneath. So I'm going to get to finishing these up, and I'll be back in a bit. So we got the little teeny tiny onions planted, and I have to say I'm glad that we only had 17 to do tonight, because that is quite the job. But I'm really feeling like it's going to be worth it, because we definitely had at least 25 to 30% seed failure. So what we did is we put a little toothpick in the one cell that we knew we didn't plant anything in. So that way, because of course they're all covered. One of the things I'm going to be researching is possibly using some fish fertilizer, because onions really like nitrogen, and that's a great source that you can kind of spray them with a liquid fish fertilizer. And I found a few sources, so I'm going to look into that as well. And something else that completely blew my mind in this blog post I was reading, we have always painstakingly sprayed our little seedlings, and with the wood stove, they dry out so quickly. But this woman was like, her favorite way of watering was to actually put water in the tray underneath. Then she really only had to check it every couple of days, because the roots from the seedlings would suck the water up, and then the plants would take what they needed, which I thought was really neat. So I'm probably going to finish the video at this point, just because if you guys want to try this method, I want you to be able to start your onions soon enough to get them out into the ground, so they have enough time to grow. But as this goes on, I'll probably do more, tales of onion segments. So if you have any questions, please leave those below. And until next time, this is Corinne from Spirea Herbs, wishing you health and wellness.